the top. Ragamuffin keeps striving in every way. Why? International, what they call we international. When me ride palm rhythm in the move, but the rhythm and I come down crucial. And me ride palm rhythm and then we sit down steady. Body me on the place, I with the one Jamalski. We are the general. We sit up on the rhythm and over the mic incredible. I'll be right part of the rhythm, move the rhythm, I sit down steady. Every ragamuffin you do, I feel rock and follow it. You know you love her for your life. Hey. We jump up on the rhythm, make we ride it right. We chat up on the mic and keep it international. Cause anytime we chop a mic, they call we give it a general. What they call we international. When me ride palm rhythm and I move with the rhythm and I come down crucial. And me ride palm rhythm and then we sit down steady. Body me on the place, I with the one Jamalski.
Yes. What is up, everybody? Joshua Casper back at you with another stream. Can you tell me if you can hear me? Just like always, I want to make sure you can hear me before we bring in the guest. And also, in the meantime, let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm running the stream 100% solo today. Connor is in Japan, the lucky fella. And so make sure to @Plugin Boutique with any questions and be patient. Yep, we can hear you. Sounds good. Love it. Dramatics in the house. Lance Cox. Matthias, you're always around. Love to see it. Tuning in from London. Slough, Berkshire, California, Sweden. Lovely. Can you hear my family? How good can you hear me? Can you hear them? Okay. Well, listen, we're going to be checking out the updated Beam plugin today with Max from Lunacy. And just like normal, we're going to be doing a giveaway, a couple of bundles. So if you want to be entered to win, all you got to do is be active in the chat. A good way to do that is at me with your questions, and we'll try to get Max to answer them live on the stream. Well, with that being said, I'll stop talking and bring on the guest, Max. How you doing, Max?
What's up? I'm good. How are you, Joshua?
Oh, can't complain. The sun is shining, I think, for the last time this year over here in England.
Yeah, I know all about that.
And as I was telling you before the stream, for the second stream in a row now, the sun is just beaming in through that one window that the blind broke. So we're really gonna have to focus on you.
Odds are you'll get grey weather. So
oh yeah, I mean the clouds are out there. I can see them. I just need them in front of the sun for right now. Anyway.
Oh, don't worry, they'll come.
Max, for people who might not know, will you let us know a little bit about yourself, your role at Lunacy, and then what we're going to be checking out on stream today?
Yeah, for sure. My name's Max. I'm a composer, music producer. I have contributed music to shows like The Witcher and Shadow and Bone on Netflix. And yeah, I'm one of three co-founders of Lunacy Audio. We're all three of us kind of formerly or current composers and music producers, and so that feels very important to what we do. We come from that background, and we try to make things that are genuinely useful and fun for us in our music lives. So yeah, Casey sadly is not here today with us, but he is the other main. He's the mastermind behind everything Lunacy. But I'm carrying the flag for us today.
Nice. Well,
it's his birthday.
Oh,
so,
is that why he's not here?
Yeah. So wish him happy birthday.
He's out doing birthday things. We'll have to get the full report. Yeah, absolutely. But we want to know what happened later. So, which Witcher did you work on?
Which Witcher?
Yeah.
So I've been working on it since season 2. So season 2 and season 3, and the new season is in production. There's also an animated feature film that's coming out early next year called Signs of the Deep, which got teased last week, I think.
And you're involved with that too?
Yes. Yeah, did some music with that. So I work closely with Joe Trapanese, who's a very established composer here. Been with him for a few years, and we have fun collaborating on the Witcher world and other things. So yeah.
I got a question. And I know we're going to jump into the plugins, so just got a sort of a personal question. Is writing for film and TV sort of like the DJ world, where you just got to get the foot in the door and be prepared in that space to... I mean, that's the big challenge, is being ready, but getting in that door. And then once the door is open, it's, kind of much easier to get the work.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of an apprenticeship model. And in that sense, it definitely is that way. Like, it's really great to get a foot in the door with a composer who's doing it, been doing it. First of all, it's just a great way to learn. And it's not the only way. There are plenty of ways to do it, but certainly I think, like, at the highest level, there's a trust factor in there's a trust in the people that have the experience. It's a bit of a chicken and egg thing. So yeah, it's a great way to get experience, and then also sort of build your own reputation and garner some of that trust, hopefully, in you, and time to develop, I think, and like hone the craft, but while doing the thing, supporting someone else and collaborating. So
nice. All right, well, let's get on to the main show here, which everybody is tuning in for, which is the new update to Beam, and hopefully a little bit of Cube towards the end. Let's flip over to the DAW and see what you got up for us first here.
Yeah, so welcome everyone. This is Beam. And more specifically, this is our new time node, which we are very excited about and proud of. So for those that don't know, Beam is our interactive multi-effects engine. So we have currently these 4 different nodes. We started with 3, and time is the new node. You can, create parallel branches, have parallel processing, sequential processing with any of these nodes. And so time is our newest thing. And it's this buffer, shuffler, kind of like real-time audio splicer that does lots of fun stuff, chopping up audio and splitting it back out all in real time. So I thought it would be fun to play around in this session, which is it's our trailer track for Beam. So our original Beam trailer. Casey and I do all the music for our promotional content. And we collaborate on that and try to use our stuff in there as much as possible. So I thought it'd be fun to kind of like break down this track, show how we used Beam and Cube in it, and then possibly also show like, okay, what happens if we throw time in here and do fun stuff with it.
Love it.
So why don't I start by disabling this and playing some of the track? Does that work?
Yeah,
for you?
absolutely.
All right. So here's what this track sounds like.
Interesting.
Sorry, go on.
It was like not coming in for a second. I don't know.
Yeah, I had something soloed,
Oh, okay.
but I do not anymore.
All right, let's
here
run it back.
is. Yeah.
Great track.
Yeah, so that's thank you, appreciate it. We have a lot of fun with these trailer tracks, and we feel it's it's an important part of our brand. Like we're making stuff for music producers, so like we want our trailers to be good. So yeah, like why don't I show some of the instances of like how we were using Beam before? So for example, just something simple like on this piano at the end. So that's kind of like featuring the granular stuff, the grain node that was at the and yeah, it's kind of like scattered throughout here. And maybe what we could do is like throw time onto these vocals, for example. And so you can already hear the way it's kind of like chopping stuff up, doing some reversing.
Can you play the dry version?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So where's the reverb coming from there?
So that's from our space node. So let me turn that off for a second. And in fact, let me get rid of both of these, and let's just start with just the time node. And actually, yeah. So let's pick just a random preset from our time, the individual time node preset. So we have our kind of like main all around presets up here, and the time node comes with 100 new presets in this time warp category, which will include the time node and other things, our grain node and space node as well. But in here, you'll find just individual node presets. So, I can something like that. So you can see it gets kind of crazy pretty quickly. Also, the vocal is already somewhat processed. So why don't we try this on like the drum bus? So like, yeah, let's see. Let's hear the drums dry. And then here's a preset. And I'm just going to tweak the mix knob here. So this one's like a really crazy kind of granularized thing. So I'll just bring the mix knob up slowly. So, you know, I think this plugin is really fun to do, to like automate parameters and bring in the wet signal, bring it back to dry, do stuff like that, especially in a track like this. So, you know, you could just throw in like, let's do that here. And then bring it right down. I'll play this with the rest of the track. Really turn off the one on the vocal, which is pretty intense right now. We'll go back to that. Come back to the drums. So yeah, there's an example of how you might throw this in, automate the mix knob, make it a bit wild.
I got a question.
Back to the dry signal. Yeah.
So if you're using the mix knob and
yes,
so you're using it for like a fill, sort of build up fill type situation there. When you slam the mix knob down to 0, will the tail continue, or will it be taken out?
No. So any of the processing from these nodes will stop if it's back down to 0.
And what if you turn the plugin off? Is that the same?
Yeah, that would be the same thing. But what you could do instead, for example, let me turn this off. Let's say, so you can also automate each of the individual node mixes. So like, let's say we wanted all of that time node kind of like craziness, but then we want to bring that back to 0, but keep the grains and the space, which should give us that tail. So like let's try that. Let's go back here. So yeah, you can automate these individually. Yeah, and that can help with stuff like that if you want to keep a tail, or obviously just like print it to audio, stuff like that. And then maybe it'll be helpful to just like go through the time node on its own for a second, and just kind of like talk through the features a little bit. What do you think? So,
do you run speed, shuffle, and pitch simultaneously, or do you need to pick one?
No, they can all run simultaneously, but crucially, you can alternate between these two modes, resample and texture. So with resample, pitch is going to be tied to speed. So if I do this, so you can hear there, essentially, if we're looking in the speed section, you know, if this has been slowed down, it will automatically affect the pitch, basically. It's going to do that in real time. If I throw on this texture option, that's going to decouple speed and pitch. So I can now go in here, and by default, it's all going to be set to 0, as in unchanged. And if I play this now, you can hear that it is changing the speed, but it's not changing the pitch. And I can now independently adjust that. like that. And within here, there's a few different ways that can work. We can change the size of like basically the grains that it's creating to if it's slowing it down, it's gonna be essentially like generating new audio in real time. This menu is going to determine how it generates that audio, and I'll save the nitty-gritty details for like the walkthrough. But you can basically tell it to like repeat bits of audio or reverse bits of audio to fill in these gaps, or just to stop. So yeah, you can get like really different. It's subtle, but like these different permutations of slowing down and speeding up, and the texture that's gonna sound like. And then the shuffle panel is like determining which part of the buffer it's pulling audio from and in what sequence. So I can. So there you can see the ways in which it's kind of pulling different things. So yeah, that's Beam on the drum bus, and yeah, why don't we just flip through another couple of presets here?
All right. Well, let's. We got a few questions in the chat if you want to answer them.
Yeah, absolutely.
And keep sending the questions in at Plugin Boutique with those, and I'll try to get them answered here on the stream. The Chili Pepper is wondering, how many presets does it have?
So Beam in general now has, I think, like over 300 or maybe even over 400 with all the factory stuff. Plus, we now have these 2 expansions. So Patterns was another 100, and Time Warp, which comes with the time node, is another 100. So there's a lot, and we plan to keep adding more to that. But yeah, you'll see everything in here is our factory content that was designed with grains, filter, and space. Patterns was our first preset expansion, and Time Warp comes with the time node. So yeah, we're at about 500, I would say.
Nice. Let's Think is wondering, are there a limited number of nodes that you can have?
There are. I think it's like 3 per node. So you can. I think that by the time you reach the limit, you're gonna have enough shit going on to to make a crazy sound. But yes, you tap out at there, and you'll see these gray out to tell us that.
That's fair. Also, I mean, these are time-based processes that, I mean, they get quite heavy. So I don't know that you'd ever be able to run too many more than that. But just in that sense, it's a question that gets asked on every single stream. How is this with the CPU? I mean, it's got really, and this is, we should just mention it, it's absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
It's just a pleasure to look at. I love the animation. I love just the like smoke in the background. I think it's cool. The way it gets bigger and smaller. But is it utilizing GPU for computers that have them, or is it just CPU?
Yeah. It absolutely is. This is a great question, and it does come up because we do have it's a very visual plugin, obviously, and that's part of what we do that we pride ourselves in. And yeah, this plugin is not overly CPU intensive. I think you'll find that it's extremely performative. Our programmers are monsters. And yes, all the visual stuff is not going to affect your CPU usage. It's running on the GPU. So it's all separate. And yeah, performative wise, I think even with tons of nodes, we just don't encounter issues. We're proud to say it's a very performative plugin, and there's nothing to worry about as far as these visuals are concerned. it's not going to affect your system, your session performance and stuff like that. And also we do have graphics quality settings. So if for whatever reason you do want to lower that for your GPU stuff, you can.
Love that. A couple people are wondering, like Drummatics and Timothy, is there a randomization button somewhere in Beam?
Yes, there is, both globally and also within Node. So we have this generate preset button.
Oh, that looks cool.
Sorry, I changed it too quickly, but yeah. So this will randomly pull from like some pre-designed parameter allowances. So it's not entirely random. There's some under the hood curation going on to make sure it's not ridiculous and wild. But this is entirely bespoke. Every time you hit this, it's a completely unique thing. And then within the node, we also have this generator button. So let me reset this.
So when you're hitting generate, is it on whichever like speed, shuffle, or pitch that you're on, or is it going to generate for all three of them at just one click?
All three of them within certain parameters that are already set. So you'll see it's not going to change the number of segments or like the grid size, but I could change that, and I can create new segments, and then if I hit it again,
you utilize that. That's cool.
Exactly. So it will maintain kind of what you had there, segment wise, and it's also not going to change these global settings, the stretch and duration. So it's just changing across all three of these, but exactly what's going on within these segments.
Nice. Another question, and I know that we're going to focus on time for a second, but Greg L. is wondering if you can give us a good look at the granular settings and presets.
Yeah, absolutely. So, tell you what, let's get off drums for a second. What should we throw this on? Let's go back to the vocal. I think there's actually a good example of this here. So pull this over here. Automating here. Let me do this better. So yeah, again, kind of like we showed a bit earlier, this is automating the node mix. So you'll see it's down at 0 now, and then as we go through here, and let me just extend this to give us more of that tail. And so yeah, the grain node was what we launched with along with space. And you'll see a bunch of different parameters here. The shape of the grains, the size, the rate, etc. There's all this stuff. There's a built-in delay effect here to kind of like prolong the tail of the grains. You'll find, just like in every other node, there are presets just for this node. So again, let me flip through some of these.
It looks so cool.
Thank you.
It also,
yeah,
like it is kind of visually representing what's going on with the grains, right?
Thanks for mentioning this, Joshua. Yes, it is, and this is a really significant topic for us, because we don't just want to make stuff we set out to make stuff that's visually engaging, but it's not just meant to be, eye candy. It is meant to help have a more immersive and intuitive experience with a plugin. So we really didn't want it to just be beautiful, but also be helpful in understanding what a preset is doing, what the plugin is doing. And so, yeah, absolutely. As you change these things, if I change the size of the grains, you can see that all of those, it's changing visually to represent that, and that's super important.
Will you slide the UI up just a little bit? Just up.
Yes.
Yeah,
For
perfect.
sure. Yeah. So, changing the size, you'll see the little grains change size. And, so we want this to feel like, especially when you have a more, complex preset with a bunch of different nodes, you can really kind of see at a glance what it's doing, hopefully. That's at least the goal. So, yeah, let me, go back here. What does this sound like? Gurgles, just gurgles after I messed with it. So yeah, like some really different things. So yeah, you can hear it's like some of them have these long tails and they're really particly, and others just are more almost become more of a mix effect. Like you can kind of create these phasey, chorusy things with grains if you have them short. And yeah, we have this category in our presets called subtle magic, which is kind of more along those lines, slightly simpler. Like for example, that's more of just a reverb. But yeah, were there any other questions about the grain node specifically?
No, but Greg L coming with another great question. Is there a band splitting node or multi-band within the nodes? So perhaps you can talk about the routing system.
Yes, I don't know if I totally understand the question.
So if you get like with your routing, you can put a filter on and send just the high frequencies to one stream, I think you call it, and then the low to another.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you saw there, you can split the stream up like this. I can click on any stream to delete it. And then yeah, we could say like, let's have a a grains thing up here. And let's just high pass it. And then down here, we could have the time node not band passed or filtered. You can absolutely do stuff like that. I don't know how well this is going to translate on this. Not that well because it's already only high stuff. Maybe we can do that on the drums. So yeah, let's again create a new thing. And I should say also that each path has its own mix functionality. So you can change the volume of each of these independently, and the pan. You can solo it if you just want to hear, one of these things. So let's just do that again. So let's high pass this. We'll delete this stream for just a second. Cool. Let's pick another one of these. So, you know, that's just your high stuff. And then why don't we throw time on here? And so, yeah, that should be giving us, and let's turn this mix down. So yeah, let me solo this upper stream and solo the lower one. So yeah, there you can kind of see, you can totally do different things. I could do the opposite down here. We could make this low pass. Or band pass. And solo it. So yeah, you can definitely mess with frequencies here, and you know, I could also just pan this hard left, pan this one hard right, potentially. See what that sounds like. Bring up the mix again. Yeah, I don't know how well that's coming across, but you can do, yeah, all kinds of panning stuff, frequency stuff with the filter to process different parts of the spectrum differently. And then obviously you could automate any aspect of that.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
A couple more questions, if you don't mind.
No, absolutely. The more the merrier.
Jim C. Pettigrew is wondering if this has been tried and tested in Reason.
Yes, as far as I know, it should be absolutely fine in every door. I can't say with 100% certainty, but as far as I know, we test this and it on everything, and it should work in everything. There's no reason why it shouldn't. And if it doesn't, hit us up and we'll fix it for you.
Nice. H Keys is wondering if it's still only got 2 LFOs.
Yes, we have 2 LFOs, and we also have a new envelope follower modulation source. But yes, we do currently just have the 2 designated LFOs. We also have a mod matrix here, which if I actually select a preset, you can see how that's working. That being said, the space node has its own built-in LFO to give motion to the reverb effect or the impulse response processing. And so in a way, there's a third LFO, but it is dedicated to each space node. So you know, each space node kind of comes with its own dedicated LFO, which affects the mix of that. And then yes, we have these 2 global LFOs that you can put on anything. We also have a macro modulator, which would just be, you know, to manually or to automate or a group of different things. You can assign that to as many things as you want.
Understood. We've got Monkey Farm in the chat saying they've used this in Reason, so.
Love that. Thanks for confirming.
Shout out Monkey Farm. George is wondering, how far did the undo and redo buttons go in terms of history for the session?
That is a great question.
Great question, George.
Let's see. I mean, I don't know. I clicked that like 20 times, maybe. I don't know the exact number.
George, test it out and let us know.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks. Don't
Yeah.
know the exact number, but that seemed like a decent amount.
Nice. That clears us up on questions if you want to keep rocking. By the way, if you're
Yeah.
joining us late, thanks for joining us. We're here with Max from Lunacy. Is it Lunacy or Lunacy Audio?
We are just Lunacy. We
Okay.
once were Lunacy Audio, and if you want to call us Lunacy Audio, we won't be offended. But yeah, we're attempting to shift to Lunacy only.
Okay, that's my. I think I called you Lunacy Audio, and maybe you were when I called you that in a video. But we're here with Max from Lunacy, checking out the update to their Beam plugin and hopefully Cube later on. We're doing a couple of giveaways. To be entered into the giveaway, all you need to do is be active in the chat. Good way to do that is answering questions like Monkey Farm just did, or adding Plugin Boutique with questions of your own. And we're gonna pick a couple winners at the end of the stream.
Nice.
Nice.
So I thought another great example of how we used Beam in this trailer is down here. Let me show you this.
While you're doing that,
One
I've seen
second.
now at least three people asking or requesting a feature, which is different color skins for the UI. Everybody really loves it and just think it would be absolutely mental if you could switch up the colors.
Well, we love that idea, and it is something we've talked about. It's obviously, yeah, well, we love how it looks, and we'd love to have some different skins like that. It's obviously, it takes some time and it takes some resources. And we've been kind of putting everything into this time node for these last few months. But love those thoughts. We're in agreement, and we're going to definitely try to do that. Hopefully in the near future. So
Love
yeah,
it.
keep your eyes peeled for skins. All right, so yeah, there's this cool part of the trailer here, and I left. So let me solo this synth stuff here and just play it through. So what we wanted to do here was kind of showcase, what if we chop this essentially like these 4 chords into 4 different Beam processed segments, and these were committed to audio, but I've kind of dug back through the MIDI and found what we committed. So yeah, I thought this was a nice way to demonstrate it in action. So, with this first one, I'll just solo this. Just with a lovely, nice, long impulse response tail. So that's really just using the space node. And then the second one, is a combination of space and grains. And, you get really interesting things each time. It's not going to necessarily be identical each time. The way this grain node works, there's like a little bit of randomness to it, which is really nice, and part of why I like to commit stuff to audio here and there. So I'll hit that one again. And I've committed it also just so I can hard cut that tail over here. And then lastly, and then these two are these much shorter impulse responses, so this space node, we have all of these impulse responses. Some of them are bigger, reverby halls and spaces, and then others are these super short textures and much shorter duration impulse responses, which can just provide this kind of, it can kind of wrap a sound in a texture in a timbre, and that's what this one's doing. And so yeah, I'll play that sequence through once more. So, really trying to find ways of taking what might just be a simple chord progression in this part of the track and just spicing it up and using Beam to just mess with the audio and get something way more interesting than just the synth sound.
Yeah, I mean, it really shines at that, I would say. I mean, that sounded amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's definitely a good use case for it. I think different parts of Beam, especially as we continue to add effects to it, different things are going to shine on different instruments, I think. And when you go in here, you can also so we have these tags up here in the preset menu, and this far left one, you can choose the instrument input, which and these are tags, so it could be tagged for multiple inputs, these presets, but we hope these will at least kind of point you in the direction of stuff that works really well for these things. And yeah, we do feel like it can shine on different things. But yeah, anyway, I'll play this with the rest of the elements of the track, so not soloed anymore. So yeah, just like a fun way to break that section down into something, just get all that nice ear candy and change it up when, really it's just these 4 chords leading into this new section.
Max, can you touch on, so Time is a new module for Beam. Can you tell us, if you already have Beam, is this something you would still need to buy, maybe get a discount for it? If you don't have Beam, can you still get the Time module? Does it come by itself? How does that all work out?
Good questions. Important questions. So, Time is exclusively for Beam. You will need Beam to run Time. And yes, it's a paid add-on. So if you already own Beam, Time is available at an intro price of $29 at the moment. Normally it's $49, but yeah, our intro price is $29 right now. Beam, we're also offering a Beam bundle through Plugin Boutique right now, which is normally $129, and that's currently $89, and that gives you Beam, the Time node, and also that Patterns preset expansion that I touched on earlier. So that's like that's everything that we've currently got for Beam in one nice bundle for $89. And then again, if you already own Beam but you want to add Time, that's $29. And then lastly, I guess, there's also a cross-grade discount if you own Cube. So if you're already a Cube owner but you want to grab Beam, there is a cross-grade discount for that. And should add that through Beatport Access, there are rent-to-own options. So yeah, that's also an option, and that applies to expansion nodes and preset packs. If you just wanted to do that through a rent-to-own thing, that is possible as well.
Love it. Well, if I know we are getting through everything Beam, but I mean, I definitely want to check out some of your favorite things in Cube. Is Cube up and running in this particular project?
Yeah, it's kind of all over the place. Yeah, I can show you a few different bits of this. This is a nice little section using Cube and some Beam. So I'll solo this group quickly. I'll just play it quickly with the track just for context. we have here is is this big enough, Joshua? I'll make it a bit bigger.
Yeah, I mean, bigger's better. That's what they say.
Right, that is what they say. So here's one instance of cube. Whoops. And then there's another one down here. So what we're doing here is we've got these two different sounds, basically. And you'll hear the there's a beam on this top instance too. That's giving that lovely little granular hail decay to it. And so yeah, it's and then we have these reverses. So yeah, nice way of just layering a couple of different sounds in two different cube instances. One's more organic and one's more synthetic, which is, I think, one of the strong suits of cube, kind of just combining quite different tonal things and getting, you know, these unique layered sounds out of it. And that's just providing these two, you know, it's hard panned, it's just giving us these nice kind of twinkles.
You need the twinkles, man. I mean,
you've got to have twinkles.
Yeah, that's 100%.
You have to have the twinkles. I mean, it's not a finished track if there's no twinkles. I mean, Casey and I, we like to joke. He's kind of the provider of the twinkles often. In our collaborative tracks, we joke that he's got to come in at least for a bit just to provide the twinkles. And then yeah, what else do we have in here? We've got yeah, there's like more stuff down here that this got committed to audio, but this was from Cube. And then again, like committing Beam to audio, doing the granular thing. And then down here, we have some more Cube instances. What's this one doing? So yeah, we've got some nice Cube plus Beam there, and that one's giving us again a bit of the grains, a bit of the space. And another instance over here. Make this a bit bigger. And so what we've got there is you'll see this ether slider just automated. So you hear that nice changing timbre as
is it grows. I mean, it sounds like it slows down too. Does it?
That is actually the whole track tempo.
Okay.
So nothing Cube, nothing unique to Cube there. We're just doing the,
because I could see the MIDI. Gangster. The MIDI was on the grid, but it was slowing down. It was freaking me out. But I'm glad. Yeah, right. I'm glad I'm not losing it. That's fine.
You're not losing it. It really is slowing down. Yes, via the track tempo.
Let's smash that click to activate and let people see Cube in all its glory.
Yes, you're right. And actually, what we can do here. So Cube also has a randomization features, just like Beam. You can randomize just the effects, just the orbits, or just the sounds. So, you know, we could totally just create a new preset here with this sound. So let's randomize the sounds and the orbit. Do it again. And let me just bypass the filter for a second. I'm realizing It's actually the cube filter. Believe. So yeah, and then why don't we do that? Randomize the effects, randomize the orbit one more time. It seemed to want to give us some bit crush. Let's try that again. It's a bit quiet now. And so yeah, there you're kind of seeing how you can really easily take a sound that you already have, but maybe you just want to try some different sounds with it. Have the same pattern, but something totally different sonically. Just crank this a bit, play it with the rest of the track. Let's randomize the sounds and the orbit once more.
Works.
So yeah, it's like really, really easy to get quick generated ideas, try different sounds. And what that's doing is it's just it's randomly selecting sounds for each of the 8 corners, and then also randomizing the orbit in there. So super powerful for just kind of throwing sounds at you, coming up with something fresh.
Jim C. Pettigrew is saying Q-beam music is a new style. I like that, Jim.
We'll take it.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. You should do like some sort of production contest for Q-beam music. I mean, that's perfect. Was that intentional there? The two of them could be combined like that?
Yeah, nice. I mean, we definitely, we set out, we always wanted to first build an instrument and second build an effects plugin. And absolutely in building Beam, it made sense to us. We wanted something that would complement Cube for sure. And so, it's sort of, when we're trying to explain this to our families who, sometimes they're like, so what's a plugin? We sort of explain it as, well, Cube is our guitar and Beam is our guitar pedals. And that is very much kind of how we see it and how it works. And so they're definitely very complementary to one another. But, also Beam is dope on other instruments, other sounds. Cube obviously has inbuilt effects, but the ones we're designing for Beam are a lot more powerful, a lot more complex. These will get you some simple, just some very simple processing, spice the sound up a bit. But with Beam, we feel like you can just really mangle and transport stuff elsewhere. It's a real teleportation machine.
I Am Hero TV is wondering if you can draw in your own orbits in Cube.
Yes, you can. 1 second. So if you go into the orbits panel, you can create a new orbit here. So we have all these orbit presets that you can cycle through. They have tags. But yes, you can create your own, and there are a couple of different ways to do this. Some are quirky and fun like this. There's a simple step, so I can add these steps. I can determine if it's a jump or if it's smooth, and then you can save that preset as well. And also should say, if get out of here, if you have the orbit disabled, you can actually automate the location of this as well. So you could literally draw into your door the position of this and do some really fun stuff with that as well. One thing I forgot to mention, and then we can maybe get back to questions if there are any more, is Beam is also just a lot of fun on the master bus. So, you know, you could, let me pull up. Yeah, like this one's kind of crazy. Um, let's go back. So you can just like totally dismantle this whole thing. And again, you know, you could automate that. So maybe like before we hit that drum groove, we want to do like our entire drum bus is still going through the washing machine here, but all good. um, so yeah, you can do really fun stuff. Here's another one on the 2 minutes. So you know that's kind of more of a nuanced effect, just like band passed, and again using the impulse responses to give us like just put in a room somewhere, and then you've got those nice little delays. We could try another couple from the new Time Warp expansion. Kind of a wild one. So again, then you're seeing that time node in action here. And then what if we turn on the texture mode? So yeah, works honestly. It's kind of fun to just throw on the master bus and do a little automation there as well sometimes.
Love it.
Yeah.
I mean, we've gotten through a lot of questions. I don't think there are any more.
Cool.
Was there anything else you wanted to show us today?
I think I'm good. If there are no more questions, this is Beam. This is our new time node. Yeah, Buffer Shuffler Supreme. Showed a bit of Cube. Those are our two current products that are available. If you do have any other questions, don't hesitate to hit us up on Instagram or Twitter or whatever.
Nice.
Be very happy to answer. But yeah,
Well,
stoked.
I'll tell you
show this
what.
off today.
Yeah, I mean, it was a great demonstration. What we'll do is we'll give everybody about 60 seconds to get their final questions in, and it'll be their last opportunity to enter into the giveaway. We're going to be doing 2 Beam bundles, which were the bundles that you mentioned earlier, which is Beam plus Time plus the patterns presets. And we're going to give 2 away. But I'll tell you, I mean,
Nice.
I know these, we've only got the 2, right? Well, I guess Time
Yes.
that makes it 3. But keep going with the visual aesthetic, because it just, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It really does, it makes me want to open it even before the audio processing, which is incredible in and of itself. But the fact that it just looks so great and smooth and inviting.
Thanks, man. We love to hear that, honestly, because that really is our goal. We felt when we started out, and each thing we do, we feel like we're getting better at doing this, making something that's beautiful and visually engaging. We're super proud of Cube. That's now a couple of years old now. But with Beam, we felt like we really stepped it up with these visuals, and it's great to hear in particular you're saying about, well, we want to make something that's fun, that you don't want to just pull up an instrument and then hide the window immediately. Want something that you want to look at and you want to engage with, and hopefully making the process more fun, more immersive, and giving you more visual feedback, as we talked about before. Hopefully telling you, kind of giving you a sense of what it's going to sound like before it does. That's a goal. So thanks, Joshua.
Thank you. Keep rocking. All right. Well, I've got 4 names now. We can only give away 2. So what I normally have the guests do is give me your favorite numbers, 2 favorite numbers between 1 and 4, and those people here on the list will win the Beam bundle.
Wow, it's a tough call. It's a really tough call, but I'm gonna go with 3 and 1.
All right.
Sorry to 2 and 4.
Yep. But
I
we
have
don't
nothing
say
against
we don't
even
say yeah
numbers.
we don't say who they were, so they won't even know that they were so close. All right, the winners for today's stream, courtesy of Beam, you're getting the Beam bundle, which includes the new time module plus Beam plus the patterns preset. And if your name is called, email support@pluginboutique.com with your name, what you won, and a screenshot of you logged into your account here on YouTube, and we will get you sorted as soon as humanly possible. The winners are Monkey Farm and Greg L.
Nice.
Once again, that's
yeah.
Monkey Farm and Greg L. Absolutely wonderful. Max, thank you so much for coming through today.
Thanks for having me, Joshua. It was fun.
Yeah, anytime you got something new and exciting or noteworthy, just hit me up and we'll do it again, because it was a blast, and I look forward to checking out some more of your projects, because that one was a banger.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And yeah, we look forward to sharing more, hopefully soon. Hopefully very soon.
Oh, well, love that little tease coming up to the season, let's say, to be dropping new stuff. So looking forward to it. All right, chat. Everybody, thanks for tuning in. Max, thanks again. Shout out to Casey.
Thank you.
Shout out to the whole
Yes,
Lunacy
happy
family.
birthday, Casey.
Happy birthday, Casey. Tune in next time. I'm Joshua Casper, Plugin Boutique, and we'll see you in the next video.
Ragamuffin keep on rising to the top. Ragamuffin keep striving in every way. Hey, why? International, what they call me international. When me ride palm with them in the move, but the rhythm and I come down crucial. And me ride palm with them and then we sit down steady. Body me on the place, I with the one Jamal skinny. We are the general. We sit up on the rhythm and open the mic incredible. I'm in right part of the rhythm, move on the rhythm, I sit down steady. Every ragamuffin you do, I feel rock and follow me. You know you love her for your life. Hey. We jump up on the rhythm, make we ride it right. We chat up on the mic and keep it international. Cause anytime we chop a mic, they call we give it a general. what they call we international. When me ride palm rhythm